Hello friends, welcome back to CMA Asan. I'm Shamli Subramanian, and now you're watching CMA Final Direct Tax and International Taxation on that assessment of various entities. So far we have seen just the intro part, what are all the tax rate and what is the marginal relief concept. So far we have seen the intro part alone, and we'll move on to the next session, which is section 115BA. What it talks about will deal in this class. Tax on income of certain domestic manufacturing companies. What is this section speaks all about? It is a kind of some boring and kind of some interesting section. For opting this scheme, we have to comply with certain conditions. What are all the conditions? We'll read it. The company has been set up and registered on or after 1/3/2016, which is the company should be registered on or after 1/3/2016, which is 1st March 2016, and the company should be in manufacture, which means it should be in the process of production, manufacturing of any article or a thing, kind of like that. Total income has been computed without deducting. The total income, after gross total income, we have certain deductions. After that, we'll arrive at the total income. That total income should be computed without deducting. What are all the sections? 10AA Special Economic Zone section says 32 subsection 1 clause 2A additional depreciation, 32AC investment allowance, 32AD investment in notified backward areas, 33AB tea, coffee, rubber, 33ABA extraction of petroleum, natural gas, 35 subsection 1 clause 2 scientific research payment to approved organization. This 35 part alone will talk about weighted deduction. What is weighted deduction? If you spend 100 rupees, they will give a deduction of 200 rupees. Weighted deduction. Okay. 35 subsection 1 clause 2A scientific research payment to a company. 35 subsection 1 clause 3 approved social science or statistical research. 35 subsection 2AB expense on in-house research and development. 35 2AA contribution to national laboratory. 35AC deduction from business income for amount paid to public sector unit or local authority or association. 35AD specified business. 35CCC notified agricultural extension project. 35CCD skill development projects. Okay, so around 16 sections we have to compute the total income without deducting this 16 deduction sections. Okay, and also chapter 60 deduction. Chapter 60 deduction we all know about 80C to 80U, and that also under heading C, which means deduction in respect of certain income and other than section 80JJA, which means we have to compute the total income without deducting these sections, but other than 80JJA means they can allow the deduction under this section. Okay, section 80JJAA, which means deduction for new recruitment of new employees or additional employees. So for this section they are allowing this deduction, and without set off of any losses, which means without deducting the sections and without set off of any loss of earlier assessment year. If you have incurred any loss in the earlier assessment year, which also because of you have claiming the deduction, which means your total income comes around 1000, but you have claimed deduction of 2000 like that, then you will have to incur a loss of rupees 1000. That loss will be because of these deduction. What are all the deduction? We have come around 16 deductions. No, if you have incurred any of the loss because of these deduction, and that loss cannot be claimable cannot be set off while computing this total income. Okay, without set off of any loss of earlier assessment year related to the deductions. Okay, and depreciation under section 32 shall be computed in the manner as may be prescribed, which means normal deduction under Income Tax Act. Okay, but depreciation under section 32 subsection 1 clause 2, which means additional depreciation, no, which has to be restricted to 40% of the WDV value. Okay, so depreciation under section 32 will be as per normal provisions, but for additional depreciation it has to be restricted to 40% of the WDV value. Okay, then the rate of tax will be 25% plus surcharge plus cess. Normally the rate of tax for a domestic company will be 30%, but as the special provision says, if it complies all the conditions, the special rate of tax, which means 25%, which is less than 5%, which means 5% lesser than the normal provisions they will give. So 25% plus surcharge plus cess. And another thing, short-term capital gain. If any short-term capital gain is included in the total income, it should be computed separately at 15% under section 111A and not the normal rates. Okay, and the scheme is optional. It is excised on or before the due date under section 139 subsection 1. Once it is excised, it cannot be subsequently withdrawn. Okay, if the section under section 115 BAA is excised, which means we'll read in the next class, if that section is opted, then this section may be withdrawn. Okay, just what are all the points we have read so far? It should be a domestic manufacturing company. Total income shall be computed without 16 deductions. Depreciation shall be normal, but additional depreciation shall be restricted to 40% of WDV. Optional scheme. This is optional, but once it is opted, then it cannot be subsequently withdrawn. Total income excludes the short-term capital gain, which means specified income shall be excluded from the total income, and it shall be computed at the special rate. Okay, 15%, 20%, like that. Once the option is excised, it cannot be withdrawn. By furnishing, it should be opted before furnishing return of income under section 139, and if 115 BAA, which is next section, which we will deal in the next class. If 115 BAA is opted, then it may be withdrawn. What may be withdrawn? Section 115 BA, this section may be withdrawn, and the company should be set up on or after 1/3/2016. Okay, total 9 points we have to memorize, and these sections, this is very, very important deduction sections, because this is the base by which we can memorize all the next provisions. Okay, around 16 sections you have to memorize. Okay, 10A says 32 1-2A additional depreciation, 32A investment allowance, AD notified backward area, AB tea coffee rubber, ABA extraction of petroleum natural gas, 35 scientific research, 35 1-2A scientific research payment to a company, 35 1-3 approved social science or statistical research, 35 2AB expense on in-house research, 35 2AA contribution to national laboratory, 35 AC deduction from business income for amount paid to public sector unit, 35 AD specified business, 35 CCC notified agricultural extension project, 35 CCD skill development. Okay, and also 80 JJAA deduction for recruitment of new employees. You can have a screenshot. Okay, it will be useful for you for the revision part. Okay, section 115 BBAA. Okay, sorry, section 115 BAA will deal in the next class. Okay, bye.